Burning bat symbol. Before the story begins, the film tells you how it ends. In a single image, most people's eyes slide right past. The first thing on screen is the bat symbol. But it isn't clean, and it isn't heroic. It's forming out of fire, burning against the sky before it dissolves into the city. Hold on to that choice for a second. Why open a superhero movie by setting the hero's own symbol on fire? Because later, Alfred says the line that defines everything. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
The Joker isn't chasing money or power. He wants to watch order collapse into flames. And the movie showed you that in its opening seconds by torching the symbol of Gotham's hope. Everything that follows, Harvey's fall, the ferry standoff, the slide into chaos, is that burning symbol playing out in slow motion. The warning was frame 1. You just weren't looking for it yet. Ledger's hostage tapes. There's a piece of footage in this film that a professional crew never touched. The grainy, stomach-turning hostage videos the Joker sends to the news. The shaky handheld shots of terrified victims while that broken voice narrates off-screen. Watch how wrong they feel next to everything around them. That's not a style choice. Heath Ledger shot those himself. He personally held the camera because he wanted them to look homemade, like something a real killer recorded, not something a film set produced. In that first person, amateur quality is the reason they crawl under your skin. It went deeper than one scene. Ledger locked himself away for weeks, kept a Joker diary full of disturbing images and ideas, and even built that voice by mixing high and low tones borrowed from ventriloquists. He didn't perform this character, he assembled him. If that one shifted how you see those scenes, drop a comment telling me which detail you already knew walking in, because number 9 tends to break people. Rigged coin secret. Harvey Dent flips a coin to make his decisions, and everyone reads it the same way, as a man leaving his fate to chance. Look closer at the coin itself. It lands heads. Every single time. And that isn't luck, because that coin has 2 heads. Both sides are identical, so Harvey knows the result before it hits his palm. That's the whole point of him. For the honest Harvey Dent, the good outcome is the only outcome that exists. There is no bad side. He isn't gambling on doing the right thing, he's guaranteeing it. Now watch what fire does to it. After the explosion that burns half his face, one side of that coin is scarred black. Now it has 2 different faces. Now it can land badly. So the moment Harvey loses his morality is the moment his coin can finally lose. His soul and his coin crack in the same instant. What kind of man needs a rigged coin to believe he's fair? Hospital myth exposed. You've seen the viral version of this next one. In the story everyone repeats is a lie. The Joker walks out of the hospital. The explosions stop halfway, and he fumbles the detonator like the bomb jammed. The internet swears it malfunctioned for real, and Ledger improvised his reaction on the spot. The truth runs the other direction. This was one of the most rehearsed sequences in the whole film. Nolan blew up a real building, which meant 1 take and 0 room for error. So they walked Ledger through the entire thing around 12 times, filming rehearsals from every angle first. That pause in the explosions wasn't a glitch either. The effects team designed that gap on purpose, as a safety window to get him clear of the blast. What looks like a happy accident was mapped out to the second. So yes, a genuinely improvised moment does exist in this movie. It's just not the one everyone points to. Harvey's hidden split. Freeze on Harvey Dent's office and look over his shoulder. There's a clue standing behind him for a full scene that spoils his ending before anything bad happens to him. Look at the shelves. One side is neat, everything aligned and in order. The other side is a mess, disordered, chaotic, coming apart. That split isn't set dressing. It's the movie telling you who Harvey becomes. He's Gotham's White Knight, the clean face of justice, but he's already a man divided down the middle, and one half is unraveling before the tragedy ever lands. Now, you could argue it's just how a real office looks. Files stacked messier than books. And that's fair. But this is the director who color-coded entire dream levels in Inception, so the frame has earned the benefit of the doubt. The warning stood behind Harvey the whole time. It just needed a fire to make everyone see it. Deadly pencil trick. You've probably heard this one, so let me hand you the part that usually gets cut. The Joker's pencil trick, where he slams a man's head onto a pencil standing on the table, was done with no CG. Fine. But the better question is why they didn't just fake it. They couldn't. The scene was shot on enormous IMAX cameras, and IMAX footage is nearly impossible to alter convincingly, so they were forced to pull it off for real, with sleight of hand and a stuntman named Charles Jarman. They ran it more than 20 times. Jarman was knocked unconscious 3 separate times slamming into that table. And through all of it, Ledger never dropped character between takes, except once. After the first knockout, he leaned in, quietly, to ask if Jarman was okay, then disappeared back into the Joker. The trick is famous. What it cost the man on the other side of the table almost never makes the trivia list. Nolan's hidden halves. Once you spot this pattern, it turns up in every corner of the film. The whole movie is built on the number 2, on things split into halves. Two-Face is the obvious one. Watch how far it reaches past him. Batman and the Joker, two sides of one coin, one imposing order, one spreading chaos. Harvey and Two-Face sharing one body, hero and monster. The two fairies, each holding the trigger to the other, forced to choose who deserves to live. Even the coin is a story about two faces. It bleeds into the marketing too, since the film's own poster shrinks Batman down to fill half the frame. Fans have flagged addresses in the movie that read like mirror images, teasing the crisscross before it arrives. None of it is random. Duality is the spine of this film. The idea that any good man is one bad day from his opposite. That's not a theme Nolan states. It's one he buried in the furniture, the posters, and the math. Joker's unscripted clap. Here's a moment you've watched without knowing you were seeing something the writers never wrote. In the jail cell, the Joker sits alone after his arrest. The mayor promotes Gordon to commissioner. The room breaks into applause, and slowly, the Joker joins in. A cold, mocking, sarcastic slow clap. No smile, no blink. So why does that land colder than any line of dialogue could? Because nobody scripted it. It wasn't storyboarded or planned. Ledger invented it in the moment, and Nolan kept it because it was perfect. Think about what the clap is saying. Gotham is celebrating order, celebrating a win, celebrating the system holding the line, and the Joker applauds like he's the only one who sees the punchline coming. In his head, all of it is one bad day from collapse. He isn't fighting order. He's applauding it on the way down. The script gave you his words. That clap gave you his soul. Joker Mask Tribute. The first time the Joker appears, he doesn't speak, and most people never look at what's on his face. He's robbing a bank in a cheap rubber clown mask pulled over his paint. Study that mask for a second. Its design deliberately echoes the Joker played by Cesar Romero in the campy 1966 Batman TV show, The Giggling. Purple-suited clown an older generation grew up on. Sit with how odd that is. Nolan built the darkest, most frightening Joker ever put on film, then dressed his very first appearance in a tribute to the silliest one who ever existed. 60 years of the character, from harmless cartoon to living nightmare, folded into a single prop before he says a word. It's a handshake with everyone who came before, hidden on a mask you were too busy watching the robbery to notice. And there's one detail stranger than all of these, saved for last. Joker's pain secret. Watch how the Joker's body takes punishment across this film. He's hit by cars, thrown down, beaten, slammed into things, and he barely reacts. Most viewers file it under insanity. A man too far gone to care what happens to him. Look again, and something colder surfaces. He moves through injury like it never reaches him, as if his nerves run on a different circuit than everyone else's. And that fits everything the film hides about him. There's no name for him in any system, no fingerprints on record, no past anyone can verify. And he offers 3 different stories for his scars, every one a lie. The movie strips away every tool you'd normally use to understand a villain, and his immunity to pain is the last one it takes. You can't hurt him, you can't scare him, and you can't explain him. He isn't a man the movie forgot to solve. He's the question it was built to leave open.